My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring, 2016, to stop the ticking time bomb so I could put our economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election, not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 21E, President Trump's first 100 days. The role of right-to-work laws play. Well, when we look at right-to-work law states, there is a huge negative cash flow from the federal government to the rich created by those laws. Right-to-work laws narrow folks' rights to have. That allows the all-con businesses to do what is called cap and slide wage suppression tactics. RTW-sponsored CNSWS does the following. I've got two earlier posts that I will list here that explains more. One, negatively affects white society income the most. RTW is the reason why so many white folks feel discriminated against today. Two, causes a drop in long-run income stream to be much lower going forward. That drop creates a rollover effect, pushing minority society further into poverty and enslaving minorities. This is especially true for Black and Hispanic men, often closing the door to prosperity to those minorities. Number three, chumps the hardworking folks, undermining to take away incentives to increase productivity, leading to lower productivity going forward. Hurts our GDP. Number four, steals the future income of all minorities, including that of white society, and gives this money to today's Alcon robber barons. Debt to us part, student loans might be one of the reasons. Number five, lowering the youth income streams. Start to defund SSI, Social Security, or older society retirement funds, both government and private. Currently, this defunding is about $5 billion per year for SSI, which will lead to the insolvency of SSI. So one of the major reasons why our SSI system is not working the way it should is right-to-work laws. Number six, lower income stream increases the period of government dependency for more and more of our population, causing ever higher negative cash flows between RTW states and the federal government. That negative cash flow was estimated back in 2014 to be about $1.2 trillion per year, posted on Wikipedia. Add in the Bush tax cuts, negative investment cash flow of $560 billion per year, and we get $1.76 trillion, almost $2 trillion top end shrink to the rich issue for the federal government. Top end shrink is causing our federal government to have to borrow more and more. There is a reason why our federal government is running a deficit and has a $20 trillion debt ceiling. The federal government is literally bleeding billions, if not trillions of dollars to the rich already. Could we call those rich who rob our country and our workers of money robber barons? So why does Donald Trump's tax proposal give essentially tax breaks to the rich when candidate Trump promised the middle class would be paying less and less taxes and the rich would pay their fair share? Could the reason be that the Mercer Group financed and ran Trump's campaign? Where do you think Bannon came from? Mercer doesn't believe he should pay any taxes. What better way than to corrupt to buy a president? Talk about fairness. Do you know who receives the least from government? The middle income folks from the second, third, 20 percentile. Yet, in many states, the middle income folks, as a percentage of income, pay the highest amount of taxes. Sales tax only states tax the most. Low to middle income folks who consume the most and tax the rich who consume the least. Wonder why Republican Alcons changed Kansas's taxes to sales tax only? What happened to Kansas's finances? Went down a hole? So did Kansas's economy? Because Alcon tax programs to tax the most, the folks who demand the most, is a prescription for economic disaster, destroying demand. Remember, supply is equal to demand. That demand is a check and balance to supply. Without demand, there can be no supply. Progressives believe that middle income folks, middle class, needs to be taxed the least to create a robust, growing economy. Kansas is an example of a failed Alcon tax spend policy, one that Trump administration seems to be pushing. Number 9, conservatives push the concept that to tax is to destroy. Progressives don't argue, but progressives also realize that taxation is equal to spending, and government spending is government investment. If our government is effective and efficient, progressives believe that to invest is to grow our economy, to grow our nation, to make our people strong and independent. That most government spending is direct investment, like roads, like our bridges, like our airports, like our education, like our defense, like our Social Security, like our Medicaid and Medicare, like the ACA, Obamacare, like the Department of Energy, like the Department of Transportation, like the National Science Foundation, like the national parks. Get the picture, all our investments. Not only the federal government, but all government does a lot of investment. Without that investment, our economy will not grow. The infrastructure isn't going to be there. So we have instead a weak and unstable economy. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.